My plan is to make a car rotisserie for the Buick Skylark. Like I've been saying in the previous videos, I'm going to take it so I can work on the bottom of the floor, because like I already replaced these panels, but I want to make sure they're perfectly matched on the bottom, so when you crawl underneath the car you cannot tell that the car has been screwed with. It's all factory. And to make it simpler, I'm going to put it on a car rotisserie so you can work on either side, and then when I sandblast it we can keep spinning the car till all the sand falls out. When I paint, I can pour some paint in here and have the car flipped upside down and then rock it back and forth to get the paint to actually flow up into pieces where it never could get before until you flip the car upside down, and so on and so forth. So what I'm going to be making the car rotisserie out of is some 2x2 stock. This is 8th wall. I have 3 pieces. These are 20 feet long. I went to my local steel yard, and so one steel yard wanted $100 a piece for them, and then the other steel yard that I called, which was Seaport Steel down in Vancouver in Washington, wanted them for $75 a stick. So I got 3 sticks. I should only need 2. They're 20 feet long, 8th wall. And then I went to Harbor Freight and got some 2.5 by 2.5 hitch receiver, which is quarter wall. Okay, I got my razor tube marked out, 2-inch centers, 2, 2, 2. So I came up, I started at 6 inches because I'm going to do a 4-inch gusset to the cross member that's going to be here. So that way this has more rigidity. So I'm going to do a 4-inch gusset. So the 4-inch piece will be my second stop, because all of these are going to be your safety spots. So I'm going to drill these out, which are going to be 3/4 inch for 3/4 inch bolts. So there's no way these are going to snap. Start out 1 inch, and then we're jumping every 4 inches. So we're going 5, 9, so on and so forth, all the way down to about the 4-foot mark, which the ones and zeros and numbers are really easy to screw up. So you accidentally drill in the wrong spot. It is what it is. So to make the drill bits last easier and it punch through faster, so we're ending up at 3/8. I changed my mind, no longer doing 3/4. That's way too much steel to drill out. So this is an oversized drill bit for 3/8. So that's the end result. So you drill a smaller hole, which drills faster, and you get nicer curly cues out of it. But you end up doing it twice, which is actually faster. It doesn't make sense. It's faster though. And then you oversize the hole you already pre-drilled.
Rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a run at that. I think she's feeling me. Turn it up a few degrees. My imagination of her body gets the best of me. Oh gosh, she's such a tease. Bitten lips, bruised knees. I'm addicted to her, need her touching me. Cause she got a bad little waist, and we tearing down this place. Off the liquor that we chase. Got some egos to the face, baby, I don't need no space. Coming closer for a taste, and I'll show you how I make everything just fade away. Cause she's like sex, drugs, cocaine, body so insane. Jealous of the clothing that she wears up on that tight frame. All game, no shame, baby came here to play. I feel like an addict cause she's sex, drugs, cocaine.
Got the car rotisserie put together, got it all welded up like what you saw in the last clips. Got it hanging up here. It was a little bit not really confusing, but it was a pain trying to find the right bolt set to fit this because I didn't have any 7/16 bolts on hand. So my truck, when I did this, well, I didn't have it upside down, but I had it off the frame and I did stuff with it, so I had to bolt it down, which was all 1/2-inch bolts. The Buick is 7/16 body mount bolts. So I wanted either them long enough to go through this piece and the center piece to go into the body mount, but I ended up, and I didn't have short enough ones to just go straight through single piece steel, so I ended up using some 2.5-inch ones that were or like two and a quarter, because they were just over 2, and then a washer, and a nut, and a 3/4 inch nut, and then another washer to space it out. These are the bolts. There's 2 on each side, which prevent it from twisting and rolling. It only really takes 1 bolt to keep it tight from rolling, which I just use crescent wrenches, because it doesn't require much effort to keep these tight or loose. Tighten and loosen them, it doesn't require much effort. And as long as you actually got it fully loosened, the car rotates fully around with very little effort. And it's fully upside down, and then I can lock these off, and then it won't rotate. To explain what everything is doing here. So the 6-footer across the bottom is what prevents it from tipping side to side, and then you got the 6-foot head tube, which goes up to here, which has got holes in 4-inch increments, which is what the sliding tube sets. So this is what picks your center all the way across, which you can take this up or lower. So like if I turn the car flat and I want it more like a factory height to work on it, like a knee height or so, I just take this, loosen it, and take my high lift or a bottle jack or anything, and then lower it down, put the pins lower up, lower down, or if I want it higher, go higher. Clearly you saw this. This is what allows it to rotate and spin, which this tube, so it's 2 smaller tubes, which you can make this any size. This is a 2.5 and a 2 1/4, so they fit inside each other quite nicely. There's a little bit of slack. If I wanted, so you heard it grinding on that side. If I wanted that to completely disappear, put a little grease in here and that'll completely disappear. The noise won't be there, but I don't want it to move that easily, so I'm not going to put grease in there, which that goes to another head tube, which has 2-inch increments, which these are just safety bolts for when it's so right side up or on the down side, which right now I'm close enough to this piece of rebar where that is my safety bolt, because it's just got 4 crimp nuts which hold it tight together so it can't slide, because this has got to be infinitely adjustable to find the center point of your car, or else, so like I do not have these bolts tight. Not one of these bolts is tight right now. This is staying here completely based off of the fact that it is balanced, and you do that by rolling this piece all thread in or out, which you don't have to have the all thread if you're building one yourself. You could do it strictly off of pulling and pushing to get your exact point, but I had all thread on hand and it was really easy and cheap. And then you just take a wrench and up, down, and then you lock it in, find your exact points. Something you have to be cautious about is when you're rolling around the car, making sure you have it high enough to where your pieces won't hit. Like when I did it first, I went around nice and slow to make sure it wasn't gonna hit anything, because like this is the windshield piece, or where the windshield goes in the convertible, which this is the underside of the car, or I mean the top side of the car, but it's upside down right now. And this, you do not want to hit this on the ground because it can bend. So the final area of adjustment is this piece of tube right here, which if I was doing a complete other car, I could take a piece of receiver tube or build a whole other one of these if I wanted to, and have it be 8 feet long to reach all the way back to there, or have some weird contraption to go onto a unibody car. I have infinite adjustment here. And also, so you have to find the center of your car here also, because if you had the car way off to this side, it would be way heavier. Because again, you don't have these bolts tight, it's just sitting here all on its own. Nothing's holding it, nothing's touching it. So these are crimp bolts, so that way this tube, once you get it in center on your body mounts, you just crimp that down real good, which I'm going to drill some holes here for safety bolts, just so that way if this ever lets go, just like how the safety bolts are here, it doesn't actually go anywhere. But I haven't done that yet, so last night I just put this here for safety's sake, even though nothing loosened up. Thanks for watching this video on making this rotisserie. I hope you stay tuned on watching more videos on the Buick. Here are some links.